All right, so this is an introduction to forensics, our first set of notes. Forensics comes from the Latin forensis, meaning forum or place of public assembly. This really comes from the Roman times, the forum being where trials were held. And so right away you can tell that forensics has something to do with the law. Forensics today is the study and application of science to law. And this can include a number of different professions that help use their skills to aid law enforcement in conducting their investigations. Since this is a science class, we're going to be focusing mostly on the science behind forensics and not the law. Forensic investigations can draw on knowledge and skills from every discipline of science, though. We'll be using all of the following in some way in this course, whether it's biology with DNA and blood, chemistry with toxicology, physics when we're looking at trajectories with bullets and blood, geology when we're looking at bones in the ground, logic and math when we're talking about deductive reasoning, photography, drawing, and drafting when we're looking to record the crime scene. If we have time, we might get into psychology with criminalistics or computer forensics, but I don't think we're going to have time. Crime laboratories are facilities specifically dedicated to performing forensic analysis on criminal evidence. Crime labs have two functions. They investigate ongoing criminal cases, but they also research new techniques and procedures to aid investigators in the future. This is more analyzing piece of science, whereas this is actual science, where we're using the scientific method to come up with new techniques. The oldest crime lab in the United States is part of the Los Angeles Police Department, and it was created in 1923 by August Vollmer, a police chief from Berkeley, California. This is not information you need to memorize in terms of dates or names. It's just kind of a for-your information piece. In 1932, J. Edgar Hoover organized a national forensic laboratory under the FBI that offered services to all law enforcement agencies in the country. The FBI laboratory is now the world's largest forensic laboratory, performing more than 1 million examinations every year. This is actually the old FBI criminology laboratory that used to be in Washington, D.C. And now in Quantico, Virginia, we have the new FBI building, and this laboratory has served as a model for forensic labs all across the country. Besides the FBI lab, the U.S. has no national system of forensic laboratories. Many local law enforcement jurisdictions at the city, county, or state level each operate their own independent crime labs. For example, in Washington state here, it's the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab that essentially works for the whole state, and it operates out of Seattle, Washington. The public often has an incorrect perception of what crime labs and forensics can accomplish. I'll give you a second to read this cartoon. This is due to, the popularity of forensics in media, particularly with shows like CSI. And this is often known as the CSI effect. These exaggerations in forensic science that are portrayed. You're never going to see a crime lab that actually looks like this. This is made to look a lot cooler for audiences.